George tells BBC that anti-LGBTQ plus bill UN does not determine what is medical treatment in Ghana. Henry Korte got no power to ban Aboboya. This one is also coming from Kwame Agboja. Oral sex among youth resulting in throat cancers. This one is also coming from Otto Larry Joe Los Jess. And then 5 NDC MPs filed motion to probe Kufuor's use of chartered flights for foreign travels. Isaac Adongo is telling the bulk of governor that while they disregard their own laws, they should be mindful of their dire consequences. And then EC has positioned itself not to argue on sound reason. And this one is coming from General Secretary for the NDC, General Asidu Nketiah. Pharmaceutical companies have stopped giving us drugs on credit. This one is also coming from PHFAG. 2022 budget has to match needs of populace. This one is coming from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Wagner, who do business where they are saying that they failed to raise enough revenue, a reason for high borrowing. That is from the IEA. The international capital market debt constitutes 46% of Ghana's external debt. Udu Foreign, where Mali Parliament VP the gym arrested over subversive remarks. And then Paris Museum exhibit Benin's treasures for the last time. We'll do sports and then some entertainment stories, and all this will sum up the 30 minutes news bulletin. Don't forget, the news is probably brought to you by Straka Seaview Hotel, the best hotel for you to be. We have executive rooms, we have standard rooms, we also have all our rooms connected with DSTV and then Wi-Fi. We have a very big conference room for you for your conferences. We also have spacious places for your wedding, engagement, reception, and then birthday parties. We also have a bar and a restaurant where we serve both local and then continental dishes with drink, that is both local and then foreign drinks. Also, we are located off Isiama Kekam Highway behind Ransom Public School in Isiama. You can contact us on 020-341-992. Now the stories in details.
West End 100.3 FM.
Sam Nete George, the lead proponent for the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values Bill 2021, has rejected accusations that the corrective mechanisms recommended by the bill for persons who are gays, lesbian, homosexuals, etc. constitute conversation or conversion therapy, which is frowned upon by the United Nations. Now, Sam George told the BBC Claire MacDonald in an interview that aired on October 26, 2021, that the bill does not mention conversion therapy and does not subscribe to what has been outlawed by the UN. Now, he stated that the bill is a reflection of the opinions and feelings of the majority of Ghanaians, as well as the values and norms of the Ghanaian society. Sam George retreated Ghana as a sovereign state will not allow itself to be dictated to by the UN or any other organization on matters that has to do with its values as a state. The ranking member on Committee of Roads and Transport, Kwame Agboja, has stated that there is no law to ban tricycles, widely known as Aboboya, from the principal streets of Ghana. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Korte had announced that the ban on tricycles, widely known as Aboboya on Accra highways, is expected to take effect from November 1, 2021. The minister explained that the major place of concern for the exercise is the Tema motorway. Now, this action to rid tricycles operators from the highways forms part of the Let's Make Accra Work Again agenda. Now, he noted that a 1-week grace period will be given after the creation of public awareness by the assemblies. Now, according to him, he had already engaged with the heads of the tricycle operators, adding that operators' leadership has been informed about the new order. But the ranking member says there is no law in the country that gives power to the regional minister to determine which vehicles to be driven in or on roads. And otolaryngologist Dr. Kenneth Bedu has stated in an interview with the media that the younger generation are more susceptible to throat cancer as a result of indulging in oral sex. Now, oral sex, sometimes referred to as oral intercourse, sexual intercourse involving the stimulation of the genitals of a person by another person using the mouth, including the lips, tongue, or teeth, and the throat. Now, according to Dr. Bedu, there are accounts of the younger generations between the ages of 30 to 40 involved in oral sex and with throat cancer, and it narrows down with a high practice of oral sex among them. Now, women blowjobs are some of the many ways in which oral sex is done, leading to the high rates of getting throat cancer, according to the doctor. He also added that if the condition is left for a longer period before detection, it can result in long-term risks like jaw explicit. 5 members of the NDC caucus in Parliament have filed a motion asking the House to probe President Akufo-Addo over the use of chartered flights for his foreign travels. Now, the MPs in question are ranking member on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Busia North MP James Gaga, MP for Korle Klotim, Zaneto Ajeman Rollins, Ejumako Enyan ACM MP Dr. Atufosen, and MP for Ablekuma South Constituency Alfred Oko Vandapen. Among other things, the MPs are also asking Parliament to ascertain the justification for the decision to use chartered flights. Now, they want the House to determine the financial cost and the implication to the taxpayer and make consequential recommendations to consider members of the House. And the motion filing follows assurances from Mr. Ablakwa that upon Parliament's resumption from recess, he will ensure that government renders account for President Akufo-Addo's foreign trips that allegedly cost the country millions of cedis. Now, in a post on Facebook, Mr. Ablakwa noted that all forms of ploys or stunts orchestrated towards preventing government from being accountable in this regard will be unsuccessful. The Bolgatanga Central MP Isaac Adongo has cautioned the governor of the Bank of Ghana concerning his suggestion that it will surrender $300 million of the special drawing rights equivalent to government to fund the 2022 budget expenditures. Now, Isaac Adongo, in a letter addressed to the governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, described the suggestion as most unfortunate and a perverse interpretation of the rules that govern his mandate. Mr. Adongo explained that indeed the said suggestion is in a breach of the several acts, including the Public Financial Management Act, the Bank of Ghana Act 2002, Act 612, and an 8th Amendment 2016 Act 916, and do not fulfill the purpose of SDR as proposed by the IMF. Now, the International Monetary Fund had established a $650 billion increase in special drawings rights of several member countries. Now, this was distributed to member countries' central banks to augment their foreign reserves that have been constrained by COVID-19's disruption of global supply chains and its attendant effect on foreign inflows from exports. Unlike the RCF fiscal support to government, these monies were rarely paid directly to bulk accounts as assets of the central bank and not government accounts with it. He then added that despite there being a clear breach of the above act, the BOG had failed to seek parliamentary approval after exceeding the 5% threshold of borrowing to government. Now, the MP for Bolgatanga Central says should the BOG go ahead with offering $300 million of the SDR to government, it will aggravate the breaches of the 5% threshold. General Secretary of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, says it is baseless to argue with the Electoral Commission over the obvious electoral malpractices that marred the 2020 general elections. Now, according to the NDC chief scribe, the Electoral Commission was caught during the electoral process to have printed 1 million ballot papers without the presence of agents of the political parties. Now, speaking to the media, General Mosquito, who believed the electoral body has positioned itself to just argue illogically with the NDC over glaring electoral malpractices, further accused the EC of taking an entrenched position to reject any stance pointing out its flaws in the 2020 general elections. Now let's take a listen to the General Secretary for the NDC, General Sidu Nketia.
West End 100.3 FM.
And since I blue.
Was a blue, a full catcher.
Since I blue.
West End 100.3 FM.
Assume or say, boss, not supposed to say. The full BB as I was in another Nancy, says a woman since I'm blue. Or since I blue, since I blue. Or how the barn was supposed to say, I am quite him fear. I know I didn't call Japan anymore, him fear said. Papa, Nana. A full moon or that name or since in San Blue. I know the Amajan and Pessamedenoba. Now, where I am now, woman whom I sense and saying, let me say, you know, him sense and say, and yet, I say, you want him, but don't since in San Blue. West End
100.3 FM.
And I Jataka say you are from South Sense in San Blue. Who dip him into court? And who would you call? Hey, my dipping moons in San Blue, my dipping in San Blue. Or say possible? What before? Enti was so can say, Ube Mia no answer. Onkasa. And what this answer came massible. Nansan which are Munasibos and called. Yataho say, ah, Mura. Nansan saying, Nicola say. Oh, that's all the other sense in saying green.
West End 100.3 FM. West End 100.3 FM.
Now, what's on the alcohol for only a few more edgy changes? Oh, dear, wouldn't say. Obi an incense in San Green. Now, what dear Nuachi wouldn't know Jackson, you know. And no, Yentia. Yet you watch. Yet also be a moonso. Some me or any more. Madame made them on what bomb me Porogia. Yamaka said, I'll see a full moon since in San Yutina, would the Abama Hinfia, I'll be say my dad yet. And then, you know, what's on here and so. I see any make I tell say me, I know. Any of full moon yet.
West End 100.3 FM.
And told it to